Jared Rogers, good morning. City of Phoenix Parks and Recreation Department. I'm the Deputy Director of the Natural Resources Division. And this is a real honor to be involved in any way, shape, or form with what is happening today. I just wanted to take a quick moment, just if you bear with me for a sec. My family's been here since the 1870s, which seems like a long time, and I feel a real connection to the landscape and the places here. I'm a landscape architect because I love the Sonoran Desert. To have had any involvement to be able to be here today is just amazing for me, to recognize how over time our understanding and our relationships with our tribal communities that we live amongst every day is changing over time. And I'm just been very grateful to have any part of being involved in that happening. And it's just an exciting moment to have a part in that in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of people that are here to help celebrate it that feel very similar to I do. We have Mayor Kate Gallego here, who's been a great proponent of the name change and of everything else we've been doing recently. Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community President Javier is here. He's here. Right there, I'm sorry. Getting past the nerves here. I appreciate it, President. We also have over here to my left from the Gila River Indian Community is Elder Barnaby Lewis, who will be giving us a blessing in a few minutes. We also have from Council District 8, Councilwoman Kesha Hodge Washington. Thank you, Councilwoman. We also have from the Parks Board, our chair, Kelly Dalton. Thank you. Also here from the Parks and Recreation Department, we have Director Cynthia Aguilar and Assistant Director, she's over here, Assistant Director Tracy Hall. Also wanted to make mention that we have Mitch Menchaca from the Office of Arts and Culture, who helped pay for the mural that you walked past. Hopefully you just close your eyes because we didn't want you to see it yet. We want to have that be part of the thing. We also have the artist, Thomas Breeze Marcus, who is here, who's going to share some thoughts and comments about his thinking with the mural. Yes. It's a beautiful mural. We also have from the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community here today, Jacob Butler, and Shane Anton from Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer. Also, just, I don't know if this was planned, but I think I heard we have the Sackatone Middle School here on a field trip. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I think that speaks to the dynamic nature of this place, that things happen every day. We're here to celebrate it today as a big event, but really neat things happen here every day. So that's pretty awesome that just happened. We also have, I just wanted to give a shout out to the amazing staff here at the museum. They do a really good job of getting this event on, but then also in building relationships with the communities. Thank you. I'm going to go through some first names at least from them, from the staff. Nicole, Lorene, Lindsay, Laura, Caitlin, Ken, Chad, Brian, Becca, Becky, Ruby, Desiree, Colin, Max, Marina, Jack, and Darcita. I had to say Darcita last because my handwriting is terrible. So Darcita. But anyway, thank you, the staff. If we could give them a round of applause for getting this event ready. So I also have the pleasure of reading the land acknowledgement statement. And I tried to kind of speak to that in my opening first thoughts, but we recognize that people have lived here for a long time and they continue to live here. Before my family got here in the 1870s, there were people here and those families are still here. So we have a statement that I'll read now, and then after that I'll turn the time over to Barnaby Lewis, who is the Gila River Indian Community Elder, who will be giving us a tribal blessing. The Parks and Recreation Department acknowledges the City of Phoenix is located within the homeland of the O'Odham and Piipaash peoples and their ancestors, who have inhabited this landscape from time immemorial to present day. The landscape is sacred and reflects cultural values central to the O'Odham and Piipaash way of life and their self-definition. This acknowledgement demonstrates our commitment to work in partnership with the ancestral indigenous communities to foster understanding, appreciation, and respect for this heritage. With that, I'll turn the time over to Barnaby Lewis.
Oh, I'm a little shorter than he is. Good morning. In lieu of the traditional blessing, I want to offer this song as a blessing There's a song about Vahki, just as CityofPhoenixAZ right here. Vahki, there are many songs of Vapaki in our tradition and our song culture. This particular one just doesn't name a specific one, but it speaks of Vahki being at the foot of the sunrise. In autumn, it says, Dom hignyet, kahu siarik basho, tondam Vahki kuk, gudag nan komam signye, kondam kupyo kamnyet. In English, it's translated as, who among you have seen the bright ancient house at the foot of the sunrise? For within are many, many songs. I opened and saw the songs. Do me kayena kahu siringa basho tanadama Vahki kukam Damo nana ko mama hiya ye kedamaku ema ko namaku kupyo vanye kanya edam do me kanye nam kahu chare basho tono damo Vahki kam kedamo na ko mama inya kedamaku pem kunyamaku kupyok vanye kanya edam kedamo na ko mama inya kedamaku pem kunyamaku kupyok vanye kanya edam kedamo nana ko mama inya kedamaku pem kunyamaku kupyok vanye kanya edam. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you, Barnaby. That was great and really appropriate to be looking at a Vahki as you're singing about it. So that was really neat. Next, we'll turn the time over to Mayor Kate Gallego for some remarks. Thank you.
Good morning, and thanks for being here. It is wonderful to welcome tribal leaders from throughout the state of Arizona, as well as friends of the museum, leaders of the city of Phoenix, and friends of this wonderful institution. It is an honor to be with you here to celebrate the renaming of Central Vahki Museum. Names tell a story, which is why I was glad to see the City of Phoenix Parks and Recreation Board, led by Kelly Dalton, unanimously agree to change the name of Pueblo Grande Museum to Central Vahki earlier this year. The new name better represents the connection the site and the museum have with our local Native American communities in the Salt River Valley, specifically the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community and the Gila River Indian Community. This is an important institution. When friends ask me where they should visit when they are new to the city or coming here for a trip, I often recommend Central Vahki as a really important institution to understand the roots of our city, how we came to be here. People love the story of the origin of our name, Phoenix, and this is the place to come if you really want to understand the roots from which that mythical bird rose. This institution exists to preserve and educate our residents about the current Native American communities who call Phoenix home and the accomplishments and myriad contributions of those who built and ancestors in the Salt River Valley. Right now, we're standing on land spiritually connected to our tribal partners. As the gateway to Phoenix heritage, Central Vahki Museum helps pass on memorable experiences through interactive experiences for visitors young and old. It's meaningful to have you all here today as we usher in this new era at this point of pride for our city. We even have a new mural to honor this new name, and it will be my first public mural signing later today. Folks at home might not know that this facility is part of a unique partnership between the city, who owns the building, and the nonprofit Friends of Central Vahki Museum, who operate it. Through difficult economic times, staffing shortages, and other obstacles, the Friends of the Museum and their volunteers have kept this significant cultural, historical, and archaeological resource open to the public for over 80 years. So please give the Friends of the Museum a hand for their hard work. The museum has also launched a new exhibit, What's in Our Name, that explores the history of the former name, Pueblo Grande Museum, and how we are moving forward with Central Vahki Museum. I hope that you'll all get the chance to take that in. This is part of an effort that we are taking throughout the city to recognize our roots and to honor those who founded our city, our Native American founders. We are doing that through partnerships on the economic side, trying to partner with Native American-owned small businesses, highlight artists, and this year we became our first time where we had an official city holiday for Indigenous Peoples Day. We believe the first city in Arizona to do that. We know we still have a lot of work to do, but we think today is an important milestone, and I'm so honored to share it with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have to hold it because I'm just too tall. But I just wanted to give Mayor Gallego a big shout out. Last year so I'm the Deputy Director of the Natural Resources Division. We have 40,000 acres of Sonoran Desert parks and preserves. At South Mountain Park, which is our oldest, next year it will turn 100 years. We were able to reopen the South Mountain Environmental Education Center, which is a visitor center / museum that you can enjoy at South Mountain Park. And the mayor was there for that. And we're excited that in the next year, as we celebrate it turning 100 years of City of Phoenix, being the land steward of that park, that we'll be able to do a major renovation of an activity complex that's adjacent to it, and we're going to be redoing the interiors of the museum. That it will be more in line again with the things that are happening here today, involving our tribal partners and the local communities to make sure the stories we're telling are as accurate as they can be. So we're really excited about that as well. So thank you, Mayor, for your support. Next, we'll turn some time over to President of the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, President Javier.
Skutash. It's good to see everyone here this morning. I'm grateful for this opportunity to say a few words. I know there's been a lot of acknowledgement, and I know our members from our council have been acknowledged, but we did miss one. I wanted to recognize Councilmember Scabby, who's sitting here in the front, that's joined us, and I also see Councilmember Carlos, who's also here. I'd like to thank our council reps for being here. I want to thank them for being here and supportive of the name change it's being recognized today. I also want to thank Mr. Lewis for the blessing in getting things started, and for Mayor Gallego to be here being part of this name change. I'll share with you, when she came, she asked if we wanted to sit underneath the shade, and I said no. I said our O'Odham relatives might make fun of us if we go sit in the shade instead of staying in the sun. But this is an exciting day, an opportunity. I guess as an O'Odham person living in Salt River, so close by to what was formerly known as Pueblo Grande, we always wondered, why was it called Pueblo Grande? And, through information that's been shared, it sounds like archaeologists that did work here pretty much gave everything here in the area kind of Spanish names. And so with the name change today, it's important. It's important to the O'Odham people and those around being acknowledged, because as was mentioned earlier, our history tells us that we have been in this area since time immemorial. And you see the growth of the cities that are surrounding our communities. If you can just envision at one time that this mound, I'm sure a lot higher than it is now, was a place where people came, and if you can envision the canal system, the ancient canal systems that ran through this area, you didn't see the buildings, but what you were able probably to see was farmland throughout this whole area, and being green. And knowing that this was a place that they came, and I'm assuming maybe to check where they need to change the water to next field or whatever, but to now being recognized as a central place. It's important to us, and I just want to thank everybody that was involved in getting us here today in this name change. Why is it important? As was recognized, we have some students from the Sackatone Elementary School that they're here. And I just think it's important for the future of our young people growing up and the generations to come to know and see what their tie was to this whole area when they have to leave our communities and they come into these areas to know this was our Aboriginal lands. And so I wanted to also acknowledge the Sackatone students that are here and their teachers that brought them here. I'm not sure if it was for a field trip or for this event. Either way, it's an important day for them. So with that, I just want to thank, on behalf of the Salt River Pima Maricopa, just thank everyone that was involved. I especially want to thank our tribal preservation offices from Gila River and ours from Salt River, and all the work that they did in getting us here again to this day. So with that, thank you all for joining us here. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, President Javier. And I can acknowledge that we do meet monthly with the historic preservation offices from both the Gila River and the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community. And those meetings are really foundational to our continued relationship. So looking forward to many years of cooperation. Next, I'll introduce from Council District 8, Councilwoman Kesha Hodge Washington, who will share some remarks. We are in the middle of Council District 8, and we appreciate her support as well. So I'll turn the time over to Councilwoman.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here and welcome our friends representing the Native American community. I want to say a specific welcome to our tribal leaders from the Gila River Indian Community, as well as the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community, as well as our students from the Sarasota Elementary School. Welcome, welcome. It is great to be here, especially as we celebrate Native American Heritage Month. What better way to celebrate it than to acknowledge that we are standing on the foundation of those that came before us and made ways for us. If it wasn't for our Native American friends, we probably would not be able to have developed and settled here in Phoenix. So we owe a wealth of gratitude to you. Phoenix is the 5th largest city because of the efforts of our those that came before us. Sorry, I knew I was going to say it wrong the first time, so I practiced, but Central Vahki Museum is a cultural resource for all of our Phoenicians and visitors, and it sits right here in District 8. It sits on an extraordinary architectural site. I specifically invite everyone to check it out, to see the platform mounds. We heard a song that was eloquently brought to us by our elder, and we thank him for that opportunity. It has a ball court. Maybe we should bring our Suns and Diamondbacks out here to get a little positive energy going their way. And it has an irrigation canals that are hundreds of years old. As I mentioned, we all know that water is the source of all life. It's needed for all life to participate, and because of the irrigation canals that we have here, or we had here hundreds of years ago, it made our city habitable. So I am so excited to be here today as we change the name of the museum to more adequately reflect the names of our native ancestors who lived here first. We must ensure that our local institutions continue to reflect the diversity of our area, and they take the steps to recognize and celebrate all cultures. I'm proud to say the airport is near our museum, and it's a cultural resource for all of our visitors and residents. It now has a name that more accurately represents its history and significance. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Appreciate those remarks. Next, I have the opportunity to introduce Parks Board Chair Kelly Dalton. Our Parks Board helps oversee names of parks and facilities. They also helped us adopt it and pushed for the adoption of a land acknowledgement statement. So under Kelly's leadership and the Parks Board, we're here today because the name was officially changed. So with that, I'll turn some time over to Kelly.
Well, hi everyone. It is so wonderful to be here. I am so glad that we had this event in November and not May. Wonderful weather. I just want to begin by saying, I think having a decision like this and being able to play a small part on behalf of the Parks Board in voting unanimously for this name change, it really takes great leadership. And if you look at the leaders, Mayor Gallego, the councilwoman, they are the individuals that worked with the tribal leaders to bring this name change to our attention. And I think our Parks Board was just very happy to be able to play a small role, because a name change means that we are understanding the culture, that we understand the importance. And so I just want to acknowledge that the leadership of our city and our tribal leaders, thank you so much. We're very appreciative. You know, I know we've mentioned the middle schoolers in the back. I have to say, we're so excited to have you here because it represents the next generation of kids that are coming through. And hopefully what you all are seeing is that we understand that something like a name makes a difference. And it demonstrates that, like our good leaders at the City of Phoenix and on the tribal partners, the key to that is understanding, is having meaningful discussions, and then taking meaningful action. So I'm so happy to be a part of this today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly. So we have one last speaker today. It's Thomas Breeze Marcus, who is the artist who created the mural, and he's going to share some remarks about what he wants to share about the mural. So I'll let him take it from there. I don't want to put words in his mouth. After he speaks, we will go over to the mural. So we'll invite our speakers for sure to have a front row view of that. And Breeze will actually be signing the mural at that point, and then the mural at that point would be complete. So very excited about that. Breeze, if you could come up and share some remarks. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Good morning. I promise to keep it short, especially for those of you that are sitting in the sun. Don't want to ruin anybody's late fall tan.
It's like really sensitive. It like wants to go straight, like there.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh, I think you turned it off.
Curse my big hands.
There? No? Hello?
It's coming. Sorry, Thomas. There you go.
Okay, let's try that again. All right. Well, I'll just start over. Thank you again for coming, everybody, and especially for these young people that are here in the back from our Gila River community. My name is Thomas Breeze Marcus. I'm a resident of the Salt River Pima Maricopa community. I'm an enrolled tribal member of the O'Odham Nation. My family's from Archaeological down that way. On my mother's side, my father was from Gila River, and he currently, his final resting place is in another place called Vahki. And I spent my life growing up in Salt River, and also spent my years painting many walls in the city of Phoenix. Not always at this level. There was some hard speed bumps in the beginning, but happy to be able to share that gift that has been given to me now. And I really just wanted to say thank you to everybody that made this possible. I really want to acknowledge the two gentlemen that helped me. So, quick backstory, there was a process for this mural, and there were 3 finalists that were chosen. 2 of the other finalists were also O'Odham artists. One is Dwayne Manuel from the Salt River Pima Maricopa community, and the other is Zachary Justin of the Gila River community. And when I was selected to paint this design as the finalist, I told the museum as well as the TIPOs and everybody else in that meeting that it wouldn't be appropriate to paint this mural without them, because that's the way we've always done things as people. We never do things alone. And if you really think about it, this place here and the history here, this is something that I always think about. As difficult as it is to paint a large-scale mural, it took 10 days to paint this piece that you see behind us around the corner. And even though it was hot, 2 weeks ago we were still in the hundreds. It feels like a grain of sand in comparison to what our ancestors did in sacrifice for hundreds of years to create this place that we're at now, to not only build this community here, this village behind us, but all the villages, and to harness the water, to be sustainable and to be thriving, and to ensure that we would have a future to be sitting here and standing here today. And so I just want to acknowledge our ancestors in this place, and I'm very, very grateful. And to quote or to follow up on what President Javier was saying, it was a little hot a couple weeks ago, but man, I didn't want to complain because I just felt like my ancestors would look down and shake their head and be like we dug all these canals for years, and you're over here complaining about a mural. But all joking aside, just thank you. It was a lot of work, and I'm happy to share with everybody. Happy that my friends could be a part of it, and I'm happy to see everybody here. So thank you again.
Thank you, Breeze. So we are going to move over to the mural to do the signing. I did neglect to mention, or I want to reemphasize, if anything anybody said kind of piqued your interest and you're kind of curious about the process of the name change and what went into that and why it was significant, why it needed to happen, there's an amazing exhibit inside the museum that's being opened today. So you can be among the first, and the museum's free today, so take advantage, go get in there, enjoy it, and learn more about why we're here to celebrate this. There's a lot of meaning behind it. I don't want to take away from Breeze's comments, so I'll stop talking. Let's head over there to the mural, and we will take care of that signing.